It was doomed from the start. Hello and welcome back. Of course they were jealous of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. This must have been back when Dr. Nix worked for Memorial Foundation, don't you think? This is 5 years earlier. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where our gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion, the three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space bridge, will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands, all of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You cannot fight it, but you can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation. As it has always been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation Existential Safety, who I think might be Lunaterra's Mercury/Mars. 5 years earlier still, I think? And we're still dealing with Memorial Foundation, or at least that name. That's when they blew up the Lagrange Colony. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, very peaceful place. And now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth they're not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent with human effort what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. So we've read other things by Iapetus, or at least had them be cited before, but I don't remember which. And I wonder whether they are behind the Saturn group, who aren't Cradle's Graces or Memorial Foundation. They are the third thing, which we'll find out in a second, because they're the ones that 50% were on day 5. And this part is fun, because this is at the end of the previous video. So we'll skip through. Celestial Mechanics might be where Iapetus is working now. Author Nix of Cradle's Graces. Even as enemies, you are as hard to understand as ever, Iapetus. Maybe one day I'll be wise enough to know why you're always laughing, always smiling. If that's what you've been making on Cronus's moon, we over here don't even look half bad. I can't imagine why you tell me the truth. Does it really not matter to you if you're found out? Are you that confident that you don't mind bragging while you dangle this offer in front of me? Crunmacula's development is stalled, so we're desperate enough to accept your favor. Or maybe you aren't as far ahead as you are letting on. What if I just told Europa what you were up to? Just as a courtesy, of course, since there's no way she doesn't already know already. You know that the Crunmacula still hasn't been completed, but you must be desperate too if you're reaching out to us. It just goes to show, Iapetus, nothing will come of resisting Earth. I'm just doing this because I'm hopeless. What's your excuse? Thinking you can double-cross the universe? See if you can trick Europa first. Okay. So here's my question. Are these successive days... what unit of time? Are they even linear in time to one another? Are we moving forward in linear time together? Or something else? Or something else. I'm also going to turn the music down even further. There we go. Subject, the aversion impulse. So this is Nyx of Cradle's Graces, and this is Metaculture and Gravitational Research Chair Dr. Nyx. Origin Cradle's Graces foundational document. Why would we have received this? Except what we have hypothesized so far. The fact that we have a working tidal reactor, if not two, means we are going to be receiving culture that is meant for other people because we have that gravity. Maybe. It's funny, but it's an explanation. We'd have to play another route to know if they receive mail for others as well. Though these could be alerts. We talk always of the beauty of gravity, or rarely of its cruelty, a force that binds and overwhelms humans, that power brings us together, but it does not do so with kindness. Culture is power and hierarchy and force. It can crush us and tear us to pieces. It is not a unilateral force. On the contrary, gravity's structures are deliberate and intricate. Not everyone shoulders a light burden. Not everyone is able to wield the natural powers of humans with so little weight. Through gravity, humanity is ruled by its own laws. But this is not the case. Through gravity, humans are ruled by each other. Antimatter, anti-gravity, anti-culture all exists as a resistive force to this gravity. The refusal of humanity to accept these parts of itself causes its own undoing. Plural because humanity is broad and the refusal is singular. We'll forgive this, nix this. They are a talented engineer. When we let our children develop in the lightness of space, they chose their bodies, genders, souls, hearts of their own volition. They became human in the ways they wished to be human. The gravitational forces are unendurable to those in space. We can feel the possibilities closing off. Infinity has to become something finite eventually. That's the curse of time. Foremost of the 8 billion curses of the universe arrayed against humanity, the last before death. Conquering them in order is Memorial Foundation's legacy and belief. Every curse overcome, and nothing lost. You have to weigh the accumulation, or the end result is a diminished humanity. They're not good at making hard choices. It's hard when you understand what you have to lose so much better than you understand what you have to gain. And so, when it comes down to it, that's why we lose every single time. Only in space can we possibly be free. I think it's worth reading Nyx's things because, well, listen to it. Pluto! Let's see if we can get the controller working. You ever think we're being too cavalier about this whole war? But it's not a war. I think a whole bunch of people fighting each other is definitely a war. I don't care if the medium of ship self is rhetorically distinct from war. That's just a technicality. A bunch of people fighting is a war. Or a polycule. It's a war, and war is bad. You're sort of the last person I expected to say something about it, though. Why? Because you love it. It's work. You still love it. Well, it's exciting. You really love excitement. But it's scary too. Why? You can't die. Only lose and try again. That's why it's not a war. Just a noisy argument. But I'm mad like it's a war. I hate the other side like it's a war. If it's only not a war because ship selves aren't designed with a way to kill each other, that's too fragile a reason. Oh, that's a really interesting thing to learn, though. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I don't want to go back to Earth. I'm not going to make them let us. If I keep feeling this way, one day I might do something terrible for it. So I can't say I love it when it's more complicated than that. You're right. It really is complicated. I was kind of hoping you'd have uncomplicated feelings about it, though. Why? Because I love it. And I don't feel complicated about it at all. Mission select? Data log is the past, right? Oh, that's fun. Alignment, 50, 25, 0. So hypothetically, there could only be 6 days, or there could be as many as 10, or there could be 6, but you can end it early. Maybe? Maybe. I would guess there are 8 written, but I don't know that. I don't know that. Our choices. Well, it's not choices. Our options, if you will. Becoming stars. The Lagrange Colony is an uninhabitable husk, but Kratos' Graces still clings to it quite literally. Pluto's dream might collapse under its own weight, or crush Saturn under it. Look at me! The Cold War is long over, and the existential threat is gone, but its memories still stir here at the observatory. Will it be put to rest here, or buried forever? It's hard to choose. I'm so interested in Saturn. Do I have Lunaterra in me? Well, Lunaterra is somewhere in me, right? We discovered last time that Lunaterra is sad. It's sad. No, we're doing Saturn today. I don't want to be sad, and so I won't be. Becoming stars. No, I'm not gonna. Pluto, come on, listen. Don't think I don't see you trying to protect me. It's for your own good. I utterly refuse. Dr. Nix is worried, and for good reason. Only I have a strong enough gravity to pull the colony ruins out of the Lagrange point and pull it along with us to the moon, so I don't even know why we're having this conversation. The tidal forces would tear you apart, and you just get in the way, and I want to have fun. It would be hard enough on your own, but Celestial Mechanics wants it too, and not to rebuild it or use it to reseed Ares when we win. They'll finish what they started and turn it inside out into something horrible, and they'll send an annoying hijacker to do it. I'm not letting you do that alone. Never let me do anything fun. It's not fun. This is serious. Then why are you always having so much fun? That's not the case whatsoever. I'm doing what needs to be done. Does doing what needs to be done refer to your mission assignments? Or that girl that you keep... The mission, I promise. I want to do something that needs to be done. You're very strong and very brave, but it's not a time I can just sit around and be protected. We're too desperate now. I need hope too. Pluto, but you can't do everything. Battle in physical space for the future? Betray. Okay, good. Battle in narrative space for each other? Loyal. Outcome favors Kratos' Graces. Yes! Finally one I can feel good about that's being loyal. We're thankful for our Kratos' Graces, but we're not coming back. Saturn rushes in because Pluto is ready for this kind of fight. This is not what I was expecting. Like, you're kidding, right? No, Pluto isn't joking. The farthest thing. The swirl of cosmic nebula dust that completely obscures the colony in Pluto's warm embrace is no punchline. Only insofar as it is true that Pluto is so strong. It's funny. The colony no longer resembles Earth. Now it's a gas giant, or maybe a star waiting to be born. Whatever the case, even though it's certainly much too late to do anything about it, there's an invitation from inside. Just come try. You must think I'm really dumb. But you must have a lot of faith in me, in which case you're really dumb. It could be Saturn's perfect opportunity if she plays her cards right. Pluto's putting everything she has and more into just attempting to move the colony. If Saturn can find her, she'll be helpless. And how am I supposed to do that with you filling up the whole universe? Your story is everywhere, pulling at everything. How am I supposed to compete with gravity so strong? Even the narrative of space-time is bending. Oh, hi there, Saturn. Are you just passing through? Hi. Fancy meeting you here. How did you know it was me? Weird to find you in the middle of an inconceivable cosmic cloud only you could create. I know! What a coincidence! I've sort of been ordered to fire on anyone in it, though. I think this might make things awkward if you try to get closer. You could at least pretend to be a little afraid of me. I am, just a little. But even if I should be, I'm glad to see you. I hope that's not a lie. On either part. No, it isn't. I know you're dangerous and very special, and you wouldn't be here if you couldn't stop me. Even if you're not quite ready for how hard that will be. I'm very impressed that you didn't decide to sneak up on me while I was thinking that. It would have been a good chance. Oh, are you maybe having second thoughts? I was hoping I could convince you to destroy this place with me. You're impossible. It's adorable. You're incorrigible. I like it a lot, actually. I even envy it a little. Thank you. I was just being difficult, which is very charming of me. But I was half serious, too. No, never. I was almost tempted, though. I don't know what your memories of this place are like. They're bad and good, right? Always a little worse than better? It's the same for me, but this place is still precious to me. It was a seed of life once, and maybe it can bloom again. So I'm going to protect it. That reminds me, what are you here for? Do you mind if I ask a personal question? What are you trying to do with it? I'm going to not destroy it. Oh, phew. Well, that's what I was worried about. I really know when I'm beat, so I'll just be... Hey! Stop right there! What? I was just trying to banter. You tried to shoot me! That's dangerous. I didn't. You were thinking about it. Of course. Well, she was. More like Saturn was trying to get a bead on Pluto. The string of pearls' tides ripple through Pluto's nebula cloud, hoping there's something it can find eventually. It's not like Pluto is hiding, she's just everywhere, and it's hard to tell where she ends or begins. Aren't you thinking about shooting me too? You're the one with the advantage on visibility. I'm just sitting here, and I can't find you in that cloud. Oh, you're totally right. Dear super weapon of Kratos' graces, are you actually a little naive? I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Was that wrong? Obviously. Sorry, I've never learned to be on my guard. There's no need to be when I can tell what people are thinking, and nothing can touch me. If it really actually worked like that, you'd absolutely never trust anyone ever. No, I trust everyone. I can always trust people to do what they always do. Do you think you can trust someone to surprise you? Can you trust them to do something you wouldn't even think of? It's when they surprise me that I'm the happiest of all. That's when I really feel we're not doomed, set in stone, always making the same mistakes. I'm being stupid and following my heart, just like you. You're going to have to do better than shoot at me if you want to surprise me. There are other ways to fight. You're better at that than me. I think you can surprise me. Is that what you want? On Earth, our souls are weighed down by gravity. At the same time, gravity holds us together, tells us who we are, good things and bad. The Earth's gravity is strong because it's all of us together. Forces that would be insignificant on their own are powerful enough to make a planet when we hold it together. That's why we are much stronger on Earth. Even the weakest human has that sacred light of the soul and its many powers to forbid direct contact with the soul, to wield the arts and sciences in shaping existence, to be many and also one. In space, our gravity is weak. Without the constant pressure of tidal reactors, our souls would dissolve the way that water at high enough altitudes will evaporate off a pilot's tongue without atmospheric pressure to remind it to be water. Stories bleed into each other easily, and our shapes bleed into the narrative being lost, and then Saturn says, okay, I get it. Let's pick up from earlier, but fight in the way only pilots can fight. In the way only us close to the edge of being human can fight. That isn't fighting at all. Do you feel the same way, Pluto? You are listening, right? I was going to tell you. I don't have time to play today, but it sounds like you know I still want to anyway. That's going to make it harder to convince you to leave me alone and let me do this. You are here to play, right? No convincing me. I can pick up on the subtext. Blame it on the wicked celestial mechanics pilot who bothered you and didn't let you get any work done. The thing is, it's fun. More fun than hacking. To bleed, corrode, seep into the mist. Saturn can feel every particle in the celestial physics that make them move. It's a swelling orchestration. Pluto is conducting something beautiful, something overwhelming. And the equations are hints and patterns to how Pluto thinks, to where she might be. It's simple to trace back. Easier than hacking, too. Space is boring. Space is empty. Space is broken. Space will never give us everything we want. Space is a hope that what we want to make real might already be out there. Just reach out in space and time and we can almost touch it. Space is just a means to an end. For a moment, Saturn is overwhelmed with how beautiful even the boring, dead, empty space can be. Even just the way that dust moves around. That's when Saturn realizes she is lost. She went in to tear open the story, twisted around, and instead she got so lost and happy in it, she didn't even notice the cloud swirling around her, the cosmic dust covering her, Pluto holding her tenderly. Pulled into the atmosphere of the colony, they orbit gently. Saturn has no reason to fight. It doesn't even feel like she lost. It feels like she won something special. Okay, Saturn. Open your cockpit. Why? Because I trust you. Do you trust me? I do. The same way you trust me. No, I trust you way dumber than you trust me. You're so amazing, and so much more amazing because you believe in something like being human. You pour your everything into something that won't pay off. That makes me mad, but then sometimes I think it might work. Saturn's cockpit opens. Naked guts, exposed circuits, crude macula's thumb presses against Saturn in the distended cockpit, exploring. Oh no. You're really hooked in good there. Why would you ever do such a thing to yourself? You don't have to answer. I understand. Your cheek feels human and soft. Oh wow. Suddenly I don't feel like moving the colony much. Maybe not destroyed any more than it was before will be good enough. Why am I doing this? I need to get back to my post. But you look so nice like this. I want to get closer. Is that okay? No, I guess I shouldn't. Gay. Wow. That's so... What a brazen move. Okay. Maybe you really win this time. Okay. You learn something new every day. And with that, I think we're going to say good night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.